Privilege management is the process of determining the rights that users and IT support staff need to carry out their everyday jobs. So, for instance, average employee probably needs to check their email, surf the internet, use line of business applications, and probably a standard user account is enough for that. IT support staff, they may need higher privilege, of course, and we need to determine what rights do they need to which devices so that they can maintain those systems. Active Directory plays a big part in that, in determining how those privileges and rights are controlled and on which devices. One of the biggest issues now is regulatory compliance, and that businesses need to make sure that admin rights are taken away in order to comply. Malware and the spread of malware within an organisation, that if users are running with high privileges, the chances of that malware getting onto the machines and being infected really increases. And of course, protecting the confidential information that passes through those systems. We need to know what's running there, exactly what processes are being executed, and if users have high privileges, it's much harder to manage that. The impact, worst case scenario, of course, is information loss and reputational damage that comes from that, and of course also the possibility that you can actually be fined if it's discovered that you didn't take due care. Increased support costs with IT staff having to solve problems caused by maybe users making changes that they shouldn't, or maybe malware getting onto those machines. To identify the applications that need elevated rights in order to run is quite hard. The free tools go some way to do that, but it's much better and much faster if you can implement a third-party solution like Avecto Privilege Guard, and it'll help you to gather all of that data together so that you can better plan for a least privilege program in your organisation. My advice would be to run a pilot program, to pick some users, a variety of different users working with different devices, and work with them to understand what applications they're using, what the problems might be, and to make sure that the users are going to be happy with the result of taking away admin privileges, and then gather some data on that and present it to management so that they can see the results of that pilot scheme, and they can understand how this is going to allow IT to provide a better service for the company, and how it's going to really help the organisation be more competitive, how IT can concentrate on other projects that can help move the business forward. Avecto Privilege Guard provides administrators with a complete solution that the free tools don't provide. Administrators are able to gather all of the information about applications that are going to require elevated privileges, and Avecto's agent can do that passively without actually making any changes to the machine at all. So all that data can be gathered, and IT can plan properly to take away those privileges so that users don't even notice effectively at the end of the day. As a global leader in Windows privilege management, Avecto Privilege Guard allows administrators to provide users with systems that they can carry out their everyday jobs without having to make any decisions about security, but at the same time maintain the integrity of those systems. So companies don't need to worry about how safe the data is passing through those systems. Also, you have the capability of application whitelisting, so you can determine exactly which applications users should be running on those systems.